So what in the world is an annuity? You probably heard a lot about annuities, probably heard some good things, maybe some bad things, but I'm going to share with you some of the types of annuities there are, some features and benefits, and then give you a couple of case studies at the end of ways that I've used annuities in the past for some of my clients and how they've turned out. So in this video, we're going to learn about annuities. So let's get started. My name is Paris Clough, and this is Financial Self-Reliance. I love helping people manage, protect, and grow their money. And in this video, we're going to talk about how to manage, protect, and grow your money using annuities. There's different types of annuities. There's actually several types of annuities, but the main types of annuities are fixed annuities. And fixed annuities offer what are called guaranteed interest rates. So it's set, the interest rate is set every year, and you get that interest rate for the year, regardless of what happens in the market, regardless of what's happening in investments. And so that's usually something that's very good for people who are concerned about losing money or having that guarantee to have that money stay there and be there for them. The other one is called an indexed annuity. Now, indexed annuity also gives people an opportunity to have a guaranteed minimum interest, which means they don't lose money, but it also gives them a chance to kind of see if the market does go up, they get a chance to participate in the market growth and market gains. So a lot of people actually enjoy indexed annuities because they get to have a little bit of the best of both worlds. They get to have that guarantee that they're not going to lose any money, but they also get to have the opportunity to have some growth if the market does well. And when I say indexed annuity, what that means is that it usually follows an index. And some of you who've watched other videos I've produced are familiar with what indexes are, like the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ or something like that. So index annuities will follow an index. If the index does well, then you get to participate up to a certain point. There's limits so that you don't, because they cap the amount of money you can earn because they guarantee that you won't lose any money. So with the fixed annuities, you have a guaranteed interest rate that might be 1, 2, 3%. With an indexed annuity, you have a range between like 0 maybe. Some of them are 1 as a floor, but usually it's 0 all the way up to maybe 4 or 5%. So you get a little higher potential, but you also have that low potential of 0, which means that you may have a year where you don't earn anything. Now, they say the best money you can make is the money you don't lose. So index annuities can still be very favorable, even if you have a year where you don't necessarily get any interest. The fact that you're not losing any money is fantastic, because the next year when the market comes back, or if the market comes back, you'll get to capture in some of those gains and have a much better interest rate than those people who lost money in the market. The third and final type of macro type of annuity is a variable annuity. Now, variable annuities are those that are actually invested completely in the market. They can be invested in ETFs, mutual funds. They can be invested in different types of funds like that, so that you can actually have a loss in a variable annuity. However, if the market goes at 10, 20%, you get to have the full gain as well. So the risk reward ratio in a variable annuity is much higher. So the idea is that if you're going to do a variable annuity, that you want to have a really good portfolio. You want to make sure that you pick your funds and your underlying funds properly, so that you don't have really a lot of volatility in that variable annuity. I have sold in the past variable annuities, but most of the ones I sell nowadays are fixed or indexed annuities, because those are usually the safest ones. And when people get to the point of retirement, that's kind of the idea, is to keep your money safe. So that brings me to the next section, where we're going to talk about the features and benefits of annuities. So one of the major features of an annuity is the tax deferred benefits, or the tax advantage benefits. Once money goes in there, you don't pay taxes on it until you pull that money out. That's something that's traditionally for IRAs and other 401ks and other traditional retirement accounts, but annuities get to have the same tax treatment. If you have an IRA and an annuity, you don't get double tax treatment. You just get to pick one. There's only one. You only defer the taxes in one of them. So it's great when you pull that money out, depending on if it's an annuity or if it's in an annuity and in an IRA. You might have penalties as you pull that money out, depending on how old you are. So watch out for those. The other feature is that it acts as a very nice retirement account. So you can put that money in there, get the tax deferred growth, and then you can set it up to have a guaranteed income. Now, years ago, the only way to get money out of an annuity, or the major way to get money out of an annuity, was to do what's called annuitization. And that's where you give the money over to the annuity company, and then they manage the account, and they pay you a dollar amount every year for the rest of your life, hoping in many ways that you'll die before the money runs out, so the annuity company can keep the money. Well, that wasn't very good for estate planning, and most individuals kind of fought back against that and decided that they would like to have a different feature. So annuity companies came up with what are called riders. And a rider in this case is something that you can purchase to have a guaranteed income without having to annuitize your account, without having to give the money over to the annuity company. So you get to keep control, you get to keep access to all the money that's there, and then you get to also have that guaranteed income for the rest of your life. Now, regardless of what the annuity does, what's cool about this, Ryder, is that even if the annuity runs out of money, let's say you continue to live and the annuity runs out of money, the guarantee is they will pay you until you die. So you can set that up. It's a fantastic feature. And it's one of the features that most of my clients have opted into and they get. Now, something to be worried about in the features and benefits section, I want to kind of talk about some of the things to be worried about when it comes to annuities. So one of the biggest problems that comes to annuities, and why a lot of people think that annuities are expensive or maybe a bad deal, is because they have what are called early withdrawal fees. And so depending on the type of annuity you get, if you get a 7-year, a 10-year, maybe even a 15-year annuity, that means for those number of years, you're going to have a fee associated with canceling or closing out the account entirely. So if you sign up for a 10-year annuity and you close it in the 5th year, you're going to have a fee associated with closing it, and they're going to take that fee out of the proceeds from your annuity. So that's something to be worried about and be concerned with and to watch. Don't make sure that you're getting an annuity that fits within the time frame so that you can get the best results, because a lot of times they'll offer more interest rate, they'll offer a better feature, better situation, maybe different indexes, maybe different things that they'll offer the longer that you hold it with them. Of course, they want to have the money as long as possible. So they're going to offer you benefits for keeping that money with them. And I'll share with you a story at the end of the video here as well. Another huge benefit to an annuity that a lot of people really like is what's called the death benefit. So let's say that you've accumulated a lot of money and you want that money to pass on to your children. Well, if the market goes the wrong direction, that money's not going to go. And so what happens is that if you put the money into an annuity, that money that you put in there, minus any withdrawals you've taken, is guaranteed to go to your family regardless of what the market value is of that annuity. So that's something that's really important to check into as you're purchasing the annuity that you have. Some of them have riders that you can have more than the actual principal that you put in there, but having the ability to have your money guaranteed by an insurance company is one of the major features of an annuity. Tax deferral you can get other places. Retirement accounts you can get other places, but having guaranteed income, having guaranteed that you won't lose your principal, having guaranteed death benefits, those are all things that you can only get with an annuity that I'm aware of. And so those are some of the significant features and benefits. Let me give you a couple of case studies. One is a study about one of my clients who was older. They retired and they wanted to have some guarantees. One of the major things that they were concerned about was being able to pass money on to their children and grandchildren. So death benefit was a big thing for them. They had a large chunk of money and they didn't want to lose any of it. So they wanted to have the guarantee of principal. When I talked to them about the different risks that were out there in the market, they said, we just don't want to lose any money. So having a guaranteed against principal loss is another feature of the annuity. Another thing I asked them was what kinds of income they wanted, if they needed income off that money right away, or if they had other sources of income that would be able to sustain their life. And they said, no, actually, and several of my clients actually have been able to defer their annuity. So what that means is they're not going to take income on it yet. They're going to wait because they have other sources of income. They don't need the money from that annuity. And I have other clients that needed the income right away, and they wanted to have a guaranteed income for the rest of their life. And so that's another feature of the annuity. So the annuity fit perfectly for that client. And that's when they're older and they have money they're rolling over from a 401k, or they're rolling over out of their retirement from work. That's a perfect opportunity for them to consider an annuity, and you might consider one as well. Another option, another case study that I have is a younger client. I don't have very many younger clients choose annuities. I don't really offer annuities to many young clients, but I had a younger client that was changing jobs, and she had an annuity from an old company that was significant. And she wanted to be able to, she didn't need the money from it. She didn't need it to buy a house or chunk down any debts that she had. She didn't need it for anything. So she just wanted to put it into an account that it could continue to grow for her, and that in 10, 20, or actually at her age, it was more like 20 years from now, be able to access that money for retirement. And so because her time horizon was such that she didn't need the money for 20 or so years, we could get into an annuity that had a 10-year surrender charge. And that surrender charge gave her other features and benefits that she agreed to and that we went through and we discussed. And she was okay with all of those features and benefits and those situations that were involved with that annuity. But one of the things that really attracted her to the annuity is that she also didn't want to lose money. She's a conservative, even though she's younger and has a significant time horizon, she just didn't want to lose money. So it was appropriate for her to have an annuity that gave a guaranteed principal, you get guaranteed income. And so there's different benefits. There's so many features and benefits now. You can really a la carte pick and choose. There's different types of annuities that you can pick and choose. Even within those fixed, indexed, and variable annuities, there's different styles of making the annuity work and different riders that are available with different companies. So make sure you do your homework before you actually say yes to an annuity. Make sure that you've got a couple of ideas. Make sure you really tell the agent you're working with that what your features and benefits and what you're really looking for so they can really design it properly. If you want help to design an annuity, if you think an annuity might be right for you and you want help to design one, go ahead and shoot me an email to hello@financialselfreliance.net. I'd love to help you. I'd love to be able to be your agent and help you get an annuity if that's appropriate for you and your situation. I hope this video helps you understand the types of annuities, the features and benefits of annuities, and maybe some of the things to look out for. If you missed the last video I produced, you can find it here. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel up here and check out this video up here that YouTube thinks you might like. Until the next one, have a fantastic day.